and pop shops. That's the real meta. That's what they should be saying, okay? Not to give the fucking billionaire psychopaths more talking points, but that is unironically what they should be saying at a time when there's unprecedented competition coming from monopolists like Amazon, okay? We're already having a hard time dealing with we're already having a hard time keeping these grocery stores open. And then this guy wants to create additional pressure to lower wages and lower prices. But even if we were to be able to carry on with our business, the mom and pop shops will definitely close down.
That my vision for this city is a vision for every single New Yorker, including business leaders across the city. And the reason I say that is that my proposals, even the ones to increase the top corporate tax rate of New York to match that of New Jersey, are ones that would also benefit those business leaders. Because when I have
always given free game, you would be a profitable and effective grifter. I know. Sometimes I like to give game out for free just so people know that I got that dog in me, okay? I could so easily be a fucking right-wing grifter. I could be the best right-wing grifter, okay? Now do the counterpoint to that. The counterpoint to that is that mom and pop shops have already been eviscerated by the fucking monopolists, and this actually drives down prices for the monopolists, and that's precisely why they're using the supposed mom and pop shop that doesn't fucking exist anymore in the state of New York by holding the carcass of mom and pop shops in New York to fucking make a counterpoint when it doesn't even exist due to the monopolist franchises that have overtaken the entire city and create food deserts. And it's at the mercy of venture capital and people's profit incentives. People's access to food should not be dictated by some faceless, lifeless corporate entity that is simply just trying to make additional money off of purchasing a bunch of these stores and then immediately bankrupting them so that some fucking hedge fund manager can turn profit year over year. The response is this. It's 5 grocery stores in this
Some of the things I've heard that are part of your platform are rent freeze.
Yep.
200,000 new affordable homes to build.
There we go.
$30 minimum wage by 2030. Free buses. And then city-owned grocery stores. I'm just wondering, because obviously, like, politicians are liars. So
True.
How can we trust that these things are achievable?
So these are all things that are a question of political will. Because most politicians will try and tell us that anytime you want to stand up for working class people, it's unrealistic. And when we're talking about a rent freeze, Bill de Blasio did that 3 times. There's precedence for that. When we're talking about city-run grocery stores, that pilot program, which would guarantee lower prices for milk, for eggs, for bread, for the staples of day-to-day life, would cost $60 million. The city is currently set to spend more than $140 million to give it to corporate supermarkets. So this would be a fraction of what we're already set to spend. When we're talking about free buses and universal childcare, that is something that we could pay for entirely by raising New York State's corporate tax rate to match the socialist utopia of New Jersey. So that's 7.25% here to 11.5% there. 200,000 affordable homes. We can pay for this by municipal bonding. We can pay for this by using vouchers that landlords are rejecting for New Yorkers that are already approved. We can pay for this by using vacant city lots that we have. And we're already paying for this in some way because our refusal to build actually affordable housing, like for a family of 4 making $72K a year, for a low-income senior, for one of the 100,000 New Yorkers living in shelters, it is pushing working class people outside of the city. It is pushing them into tax bases of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. We need to stop doing that and actually keep people in the city they.
Yeah. And if it fails, then it's $60 million, which is a fucking blip. $60 million gets lost to the nephew of some prominent politician that has a private contract that they got through corruption in the state of New York and in the city of New York with regular fucking frequency. There's already a living, breathing example of this happening in other states anyway. And this is so funny. What will happen is empty shelves due to a rise in demand in Zohran's popularity. In normal market conditions, this will lead to a raise the price according to demand. However, because a government store doesn't operate in a market environment and puts prices below market value, the stores will quickly run out of stock, and empty shelves and long lines will ensue. This happens in command economies all the time. I study economics in uni, by the way. Okay, so it'll be successful, is what you're saying. It'll be incredibly successful and people will purchase it. It's not like it's going to fucking literally eviscerate the existing grocery store chains. It's simply going to it's simply going to work as intended. You didn't even describe why this would be bad. You did not even describe why this would collapse anything. What you described is poor people will have easier access to food. That's what you described as a bad thing, because that is the outcome of what you're talking about. The outcome of what you're talking about is people in these neighborhoods will be able to get cheaper groceries. Okay? Then the people with money will go elsewhere, be fed up, and stop going and clogging it up for the people who need it. There are major advantages to an enterprise that is not run. There are major advantages to an enterprise that's not run at the behest of the profit motive. Those who are quick enough will get the food. Others, the majority, will not. Dude, first of all, the argument that you're making, unironically, is an argument to make all the fucking grocery stores state-run, for the record. You understand that, right? So that this issue does not exist. Because there are a shit ton of other grocery stores that people will go and get their goods from. It's just the prices will be higher. Okay? So unless you're unless you're advocating for a command economy where all of the fucking grocery stores are run by the state, I don't know why you're even bringing this up, because this doesn't actually destroy the rest of the grocery stores in the region. The others will start getting even more priced out. How? You're not making an argument. Even using like Econ 101 terms, you're not making an argument as to how the others will start getting more priced out. Here, I'll make the argument for you. Because these fucking bargain bin prices that are impossible to compete against, it will actually force other grocery stores that are privately owned to lower their prices in order to be competitive. Okay? That's the argument you're supposed to make. You're not even making that argument. You're just saying, "Oh, the others will start getting even more priced out, and then they'll raise their prices for no reason." Like, what are you talking about? Also, you're making it seem as though the state-run grocery stores don't exist. The commissary structure in the United States military already exists. It's a thing that works, okay? Last I checked, the real thing that prices out people, or the real thing that fucking eviscerates and guts local grocery stores, mom and pop shops, is not actually government-run grocery stores. It's actually fucking Walmart. Okay? This, unironically, is a way to try and cop the Greek hate. Okay, chill.
Very familiar with him. He said this on Election Day, quote, "If the city of New York is going socialist, I will definitely close or sell or move or franchise the Gristedes locations." In order to run New York City successfully as mayor, do you not need the support of a billionaire businessman like John Catsimatidis?
I don't know if I need his support specifically.
I actually haven't figured out why they... Not to give him more talking points, but the real talking point that they should be fucking slamming is that market competition will eviscerate. State-run grocery stores would create market competition that is impossible to fucking contend with and eviscerate mom